Well, today's Friday, and we are here with Kent Martz. Jerry Hubble will be joining us soon. I think he's
Oh,
taking.
he's there.
Is he here?
I'm. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Scott?
I hear you.
I came back during the intro.
So what did you do? Did you like lock up the dogs or something? Or
One of them, they were. I don't know what they were fussing about. They just go nuts for no reason at all. It seems like.
maybe
Well,
they know you're going on, live on.
well, that's what it is. It's they've gotten used to this now, so they know that now when I'm going on to bark.
That's right. Or maybe the kids are making them bark. They're holding a cat in front.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I've been fussing at them about.
Well, it's good to have you all join us today. We're going to have a fairly short show today because we are supposed to be live and present for the CosmoQuesticon 10 at cosmoquest.org. And there's already people checking in for it. They've been checking in since about 1 o'clock this afternoon. And but officially the gates open at 4:30, and it's our first time to be there. I know that OPT is there. I've seen people like, of course, Pamela Gay, who's the organizer. She works with NASA and she's involved in space exploration and research. Mike Simmons, formerly of Astronomers Without Borders, he was there online, and just bunches of other people. So there's artists and there's scientists and all of that. And part of it you can just go to that website and join for free. The other parts, if you are going into the exhibitor area or partaking in some of the talks, you're gonna have to pay to be part of it, and I think it's like $20 or something to be there. It's for 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Starts at 4:30 on Sunday, or 4:30 this afternoon, and ends like 11 o'clock at night. So we'll see if I can keep myself propped up that entire time. But anyhow, today we are going to talk about. We have new users of the OpenGOTO community on the groups.io,
Hmm.
and how you had a prediction of when we were going to hit the 500 number mark.
Yeah, so I went through and looked at the rate of increase or the new member rate that we have for the last couple of months, and it's been fairly steady at around 40. So we get about 45 to 50 members a month, and then we get about 5 members a month that leave. So we get some turnover. We got about a 10% turnover rate, which is reasonable. When people get on at the beginning, they learn all they can about their mount system. They stay on for a few months or a couple of years or whatever, and then they learn their systems and they're comfortable with them, and then they decide they don't want to continue to be on the forum, so they leave, and that's about a 10% turnover rate. But so based on this rate, I think like around August 3rd, I think is where we're going to hit the 500 mark. That weekend of the first couple days of August is when we're going to hit 500, I think.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I promised that we would give a door prize that's worth $500 during that day. So we'll have to come up with a really excellent question. And but today, what we're going to do, I mean, one of my favorite things is this telescope kit, the Galileo scope kit. So we're going to give another one of these away today. Um, and so, do we want to start letting them work on the question already?
Yeah, so we do have a new on the feature request. We have a new feature request, and this is going to be an easy for people if they get on the forum. They'll be able to find it. So I want to discuss this feature request, but let's start out with that. Let's have see if they can tell us what it is, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And and I've got there's been let's think about that. I would like to, Yeah, so there's a couple out there, but the one I'm thinking about, um, there's only one that I'm thinking about. So there's a couple that are recent, but there's the one that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
You're
Well,
gonna let it sit on it.
what's
Yeah,
what's the question?
what's this feature request that I'm thinking about?
Oh,
They have to go find it. They have to go to the forum and find what the feature request is.
Oh, it says there that you're thinking about it, right?
No,
oh,
no,
that
it says no, no.
No? Does it
No.
inquire?
I've identified there's two recent feature requests. Okay,
it's a
I'm
race.
I'm interested in one of them
Okay.
to
So
talk
it's either
about.
A
Which
or B. Okay.
A or B? Find out what they are and tell us what you think the one that I want to
That is
discuss is.
one of trillions of
Oh, no, no, no,
ideas
no,
that you're thinking
no, no,
about.
no.
So while they're doing that, Ken In, referring back to yesterday's alien situation,
Yeah.
uh,
Uh-oh.
he notes that dogs can detect invisible aliens.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
good. That's that makes it easy, to is
uh,
it ghosts or is it invisible aliens that they detect?
well, you know, Ken says he walks among us, so he may know. A- and Dave Conley noted that last night showed him a massive favor. He apparently checked out his Wi-Fi neighborhood, and his neighbor's Wi-Fi was on the same channel, so he changed his channel, and its speed is way up. So there you go. Technical advice that had no PMC8 application for him necessarily, but helped his home Wi-Fi.
Right.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
Mike Overaker,
Ron wants to know, yeah, this is Galileo scope back here. This is today's prize. So, zillions of these well, not zillions, but hundreds of thousands of these telescopes have been shipped since 2009. It was originally developed by Rick Feinberg and Doug Arion and a bunch of other people that were involved in space science, optical design, this kind of thing. And they came up with the whole design of it. And they came up with lesson plans for the Galileo scope. And we were really honored that they came and asked us to inherit the product and the molds and the optical design and everything, and to continue on the tradition. So, and schools around the world use them. So,
That's awesome.
so Scott, how much better of a telescope is that than Galileo had? You think?
oh my,
I mean,
tremendous. Galileo's scope. He had an objective lens up front, but he also used a mask, which probably cut his scope down to maybe 10 millimeters over the aperture of the glass itself. Not down to 10, but knocked about 10 millimeters off, and improved the images through his scope. His eyepiece was, although it was a lot better than eyepieces used initially by the spy glasses being made by the Dutch optical makers, but still it was incredibly narrow field of view. And I know that Galileo also gave star parties. So he
Hmm.
held he gave star parties for groups of lawyers and important people. Probably the Medici family, the Medici family, whom he was always uh, you know trying to be in good status with. And but I can imagine a lot of people looked in the eyepiece and saw nothing. Okay,
It's just
and
like today when
said
you.
that they saw something because the guy in front of them saw
yeah,
something.
It's just
it's
like today.
when you look through the Galilean eyepiece configuration, it is really high magnification, but super tiny, and it is hard to use it in that configuration.
Yeah.
So so
Okay.
guy,
All
so
right. So,
Scott,
so
go
we
ahead.
are getting some comments and maybe answers here. Uh, hey guys, I noticed something in the settings today. What is an IXOS 300? That is a yet to be announced mount.
That's an Easter egg. That's really
That's an
that's
Easter egg. That's
that's an Easter
you
egg,
should have just
right?
planted it in there. Just
Yeah.
no, we are working on something called the IXOS 300. When it will come out, we're not sure yet. So there'll be another mount coming out before that one does.
Hmm.
Uh, Chalk says, I know, look in the Path Hub settings and the drop down, it has an option. Okay.
It's also in Explore Stars if you look in the Explore Stars
Yeah.
app as well.
Right.
I
Talking
don't
about,
think anybody's really asked about it. I maybe had a couple people offline talk to me about it, but I've never said anything about it to anybody.
Yeah, I know. There's JR has asked me a couple of times about it, and
mhm.
it's an Easter egg.
Yeah.
One day, who knows?
Jeff Wise, talking about different operating systems / computer hardware platforms. Not sure what that's in response to.
Oh, that's a question. He was. I think he's talking. It's a answer, potential answer there.
Okay.
Oh no, that's not a feature request.
No. Mike Overacker, if you use the Galileo eyepiece, it looks remarkably like the view through a real Galileo telescope. Probably. And Chalks wants to know if he gets a prize.
So
I don't think
looking back
he
to
answered
it,
yet, right?
Kevin Ray had an answer. He came up with hand controller for PMC8, please.
That is one of the feature requests. So, but that's not it.
That's not the one you're
Well,
thinking of. Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
that narrows the field.
That's right. That gave the answer away.
Yeah, hurry, folks. I want to be the first in South America to have an IXOS 300.
Uh,
Place your order now, Nico. We're not sure what the price is going to be, but
well,
or
you can put down
out yet.
you
So
can put down a $200 deposit, and
yeah,
we'd
true.
see what
You
we
know,
could do.
how early did they sell flights into space? You know,
They still are. Yeah, they still are. A decade ahead.
right?
I'm surprised it's taken this long for people to get this answer.
Not to laugh. Explore Scientific new product Area 51 discussion. That's right. People want secrets. Okay, so we'll move on to other subjects here. Okay, but
Yeah, we only got like 10 minutes probably.
that's true. Let's talk about the new users that have joined. Okay, and what do you guys suggest? You know, you're new. You've got your mount. You're brand new to the whole thing. What are the things you should do as far as getting into the system the best way, the most painless way, I guess? What do you make a recommendation? How do you recommend that a beginner get started?
Well, I always say go to our website. That's number one.
Read the directions.
Go to our website, click on the PMC8 at the top of the page, and read. I know people don't like to hear that, but it's good to understand what you gotten yourself into. Now, we've had quite a few customers who do a lot of research, and then they come to us saying, "This is
Oh, that's
what I've found to be the best mount, and I've read all about your system." I had a few customers, 3 or 4, send me pages and pages of questions about the system and how it works before they even bought one.
right.
So you get a wide gamut of people that
Some people prefer to read, and look at websites. Some people prefer to go to user groups like Cloudy Nights, for example, and get some reviews
right.
and start calculating what they should do from there. Some people take a very long path in trying to calculate all that stuff out. Um, but I would say that if someone is a brand new purchaser of one of these mounts, one of our mounts, that they should definitely join the groups.io. They should make themselves familiar with all it has to offer, and watch our program. Okay. I think we're casting wide enough of a net. If you don't like the social media scene, certainly you can be on YouTube and watch our programs.
And we've got 30 episodes now. It's the
31.
31st one. So
Yep.
30, there's 30 hours. There's probably about 30 hours of content to watch and absorb
Right.
about our system.
Right. And we have a nice loop between the customer requests, questions. We're harvesting questions from the group itself, and answering them here on the show. But I think that that's a great way to go. I think joining a club, if you can, in your area, even if it's a virtual experience starting out right now, that would be something. We also have the Explore Alliance. There's lots of benefits in that as well, and you get kind of a VIP experience, with us as well. Not that we don't give VIP care to everyone, because we do.
Yeah, I think that's what they get compared to the rest of the industry. I think they get automatic VIP status, and then they get presidential status afterwards with the Explorer Alliance.
Okay, so Chalk says YouTube's, or Ken says YouTube syndication coming soon. Chalk says plate solving and guiding in Explore Stars. And Kevin Ray says eliminate the need for ASCOM Path by integrating native Path like server in the PMC8 ASCOM driver.
No, that's not a latest feature request. That's not the latest.
No. That's not what he's saying.
Oh, those are feature requests.
That is a feature request. That's not what he's saying. I think we may have had this looks like a feature request answer maybe from Robert Cepaccione. Enhanced polar alignment features request. Is that the one you thought you were? Was that an answer?
Not exactly. Let me see. That's not the title of it.
Oh, come on, give the man credit.
That's that.
Brad Beard says he can't get to our website right now. Probably not our fault.
It's that's not it. That is one of the feature requests, but that's not the one. Kent.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give it away. It's the
give him a clue. Give a clue.
You want to win it, Larry? You want it, right?
It's the newest message on the feature request subgroup.
Upgraded alt adjustment on a future mount.
Yes, that's it.
Bingo. There we go.
Cohen. I can't read. Cohen won. All right, so congratulations.
Oh, good.
That's awesome.
That was a suggestion by Bill Black, and I wanted to talk about it. But we only got like 5 minutes to talk about it.
Hang on real quick. Cohen, send me email service at explorescientific.com. Attention Kent, prize winner. And give me your name, address in Belgium, and phone number, and we will take care of you next week.
Okay, so Dustin,
let me read.
Says the feature of having an automatic APOD button. I like that one. Yeah, I'd like an astronomy picture of the day, please.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Woohoo! What did I win? I've been talking about this all day, man. You won a Galileo scope.
Which you have to put together yourself.
You have to put it together. That's right, and you have to do outreach with it. So.
It must be Friday. There's something weird going on with everybody. We're having so many problems, and
I don't know. It's also got a 1/4-20 bolt or nut underneath here, and you can mount it onto a photo tripod if you want.
There's a nut behind the telescope
with the little gun sight there, and you focus it by, like a captain's glass. So it's kind of cool.
Did you say something? There was a nut behind the telescope. What did you say?
Always a nut behind the telescope.
Of quarter 20 nut? What kind of, that's a special type of nut, isn't it?
Not even a full nut, you know?
That's like a quarter 20 nut.
That's right. Yeah. So Jorge Ricardo says it makes a nice guide scope.
Maybe.
Ask
Well,
Gary
Gary
Palmer. He's
Palmer,
using his astrograph.
his lunar telescope.
He's got a
Right.
$1,000 imaging system behind it, so pretty funny. But he made, you know, I expect to see some deep sky stuff, right? So I'm going
Yeah.
to have him back on the show.
Oh,
We've got just a few minutes left here before we have to go to CosmoQuesticon 10, which is at cosmoquest.org. And so we're going to share another story. I did say that I would share a true story yesterday, okay? And it had to do with Heaven's Gate, okay? So I don't know if you guys know the Hale Bopp Heaven's Gate story, but Heaven's Gate was run by a cult leader. His name was Marshall Applewhite. And Marshall Applewhite lived in Southern California, I think around Julian, California, somewhere in that area. Anyways, the store that I helped establish called OPT had a couple of people walk in after listening to uh, what's the who's the guy that does UFO talk and pseudoscience talk?
Art Bell.
Art Bell. Okay, so Art Bell has this.
How did I know that? How did I know
I don't know because you're a pseudoscience guy, pseudoscience UFO fan. You know, so hey, there's nothing wrong. You know, because they may be out there. So you know, but anyhow, so these two guys come in. They have shaved heads. They're wearing gowns. Now this is California, so they kind of blend in, right? So I can say that because I'm from California. Anyways, they come into the store and they want to buy a 10-inch Meade LX200. And the reason why they want to buy a Meade 10-inch LX200 is because on the Art Bell program, there was an amateur astronomer who sent in photos of Comet Hale-Bopp, and there were dots in the tail, okay? And instead of thinking, gosh, this must be background stars, they both jump to the conclusion, Art Bell jumps to the conclusion that these are companions in the tail of Comet Hale-Bopp. He calls them companions, okay? And this was the linchpin that Marshall Applewhite was looking for, okay? He convinces the Heaven's Gate group that these companions are coming for them, okay? And so they buy a Meade LX200 to do research themselves. They buy it with the Heaven's Gate credit card, okay? And back in those days, you're still swiping the credit card, so it makes an imprint, okay? So they buy this telescope. They take it out. I guess they're looking at stars with it or whatever, and they come back in a very short amount of time, and they want their money back. Why? Because they said that the telescope didn't work. Well, the people at OPT are, you know, this is a brand new telescope. They're showing them, you know, it focuses correctly, it does this, it does that. They run through the GOTO system, they do everything. And they say, well, why do you want to return it? And they say, well, we can't see the companions. Well, by this time, amateur astronomers around the world have already plate solved this comet, okay, and that image. And they are saying it's that star, this star, and that star. This stuff is probably still on the internet, okay? That they show these two guys, all right, that this is what they are, and they both, I mean, from the people inside the store, they say that they were convinced, okay, that these were background stars, and they said, well, we'd just like to get our money back anyways. OPT has a 30-day money back guarantees, and they were well within that. So the scope gets returned back to OPT. They give them a full credit. OPT calls Meade Instruments. I'm working there at the time, and they say, Scott, we got a 10-inch LX200 we'd like to return. Just have it reboxed. We're gonna have it as just a open box kind of thing. And I said, okay, send it back. It comes back to Mead Instruments. What does Mead do at that time? There's a mistake, okay? And what happens is that the scope gets mixed in with new telescopes. Heaven's Gate's telescope goes out into who knows where.
The
No one knows
wild.
where it went.
Goes to the wild.
Goes to the wild, okay? And it's probably being used every night by some unknowing amateur astronomer, okay? Um, Shortly thereafter, Peter Jennings' film crew shows up at the doorstep of OPT because, unfortunately, the Heaven's Gate group committed suicide, and this is their path to getting on the companions, going back through space on the tail of Comet Hale-Bopp.
So how did they know to come to OPT? They find the receipt, or how did they know to come down there and talk to you?
That
Talk to
I don't
OPT.
know. I don't know, but it's found out. News people are good at that kind of thing. You were a news person, Kent, so
Yep.
you know
I mean, we dig
you dig, right? So
and we look and oh,
yeah,
comet. Oh, there.
it was pretty. The
Yeah.
whole thing was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But
And sad. Very sad.
sad, yeah, yeah. So, um, but there's the things that people strongly believe can make big shifts. So. And that made worldwide news. And so that's probably one of the stranger stories. I have other strange stories, but this is one of them. And so anyhow, we're already at 4:31, and I'm supposed to be at work at CosmoQuesticon. So we will sign off with you guys. Hope to see some of you over there, and take care and have a great weekend. Be safe, and we will see you on Monday with episode 32. Take care.
Take care. Take care.
Bye bye.